What's up, everybody? This is Dennis Sperling, your favorite personal injury lawyer. And I want to talk to you all about a subject that has been discussed over and over again, but I've never quite hit on it, and that is dating single mothers. Now, I've dated single mothers both in the United States and in other countries, and I've had some experience with that. And then on top of that, my mom, and I kind of see the drawbacks of dating single mothers um, from the perspective of the child. In addition to that, my ex-wife and my child's mom are all. Sorry about that. I had to take that call, but either way, so I've dated women who are single mothers. My mother was a single mother. I have an ex-wife. I have a baby mama who's a single mother, and then you know, I was raised kind of by a single mother. Not totally, but because basically I was adopted off. Long story. But the bottom line is there are some drawbacks that people don't talk about. And I'm not going to sit here and bash single mothers. I'm not going to say that this is the ultimate sin. I'm not going to say it's the sole cause for all the issues that we face in the United States or around the world. But what I am going to do is just point out some practical issues associated with dating single moms. First of all, as a man who has children himself, I have 3 sons, for those of you who follow me. I know that I can't treat someone else's child the way I treat mine. Meaning that as a father, I'm 100% dedicated to my children, their well-being. And as a matter of fact, I explain to my children that to me, they are an extension of me, meaning I will do for them whatever I will do for myself, whether it be sacrifice, or if I dress nice, they dress nice. Whatever I have, they have. Whatever I own, they own. My time is their time. I serve my children. Like, I'm telling you, like, I serve my children like it's my second job. I'm 100% dedicated to it, to them for the time that they're children, because I know they're only going to be children for a short time, and then the rest of their life, they're adults. So it's my job to make sure that they have this firm footing and foundation. So when I say I'm 100% down, I'm all in, 10 toes down for my kids. And I know that I can't do that for some other person's child. I don't have that connection. And there's nothing emotional there. And you can learn to love a child, but even logically, I can't see myself sacrificing even my life for someone else's child, And before you get to that point, the money that it takes to raise children, the time and energy it takes to get that money, I can't see myself doing that for somebody else's child and enjoying it like I do for my own. So I know that would make me as a man unhappy. And I'm not saying there aren't people who don't have successful relationships, but I know that I would be cheating that child out of what they really need. And that is a father who really, really is down from, like I'm down for my father, and like I'm down for my children as a father. The thing is, a lot of women think that they can just take one man and put him in place of another man. They think that they can have children by this one man, and if it doesn't work out with him, they could just get a man and just replace the man that is the father of the children with any old random man. And it doesn't work like that. You can't just mix and match children with men. Sometimes it doesn't work. And I'm going to draw from my own experiences. My sons are now dealing with the fact that their mom is dating. I believe she's had a couple of guys. She's different than me. I've only brought one woman around. My children in the past 10 years since we've been divorced, and that's my child's mother, and that was only after we agreed to get engaged, and I wanted to introduce them. She's not apparently done that. They figured out that, who they like and who they don't like. But bottom line is, that's her business, not mine. I just operate in a different way. I didn't want them to get attached to anybody, and I just don't want anybody really around my kids like that. But bottom line is, So she's trying to get them to kind of like this new guy that she's dating, who I'm thinking she's serious about. And from what I hear about him, he's a decent guy, educated man. I don't know anything about him. But what she doesn't realize is you can't just put these boys in a room with some guy and think they're going to bond. It's just from a child's perspective, and having done this myself, my mother used to bring guys around. Some she would be with, some she would casually dating. After a while, they just all like, yeah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? And so, at a certain point, you're like, okay, here's just another one, whatever. I'm not really trying to get cool with you. You'll be gone next year, whatever. And that's the perspective of a child, especially a boy child. Nobody could ever, I was strong-willed enough that nobody could ever just force someone on me. And I had a strong enough relationship with my adopted father, who I thought was my father at the time, which changes the dynamic. I thought he was my father. I was told he was my father. He told me he was my father. The only person that was disputing that after a while was my mom. So bottom line is, I just didn't, like whatever, who knows. Now I know, of course, I recognize now that he's not my biological father, but my whole point was I had a strong enough bond with him that no other man could come in and take that bond. So you can't just mix and match kids. Sometimes kids don't want this other guy. They don't want him to try to feel, they might reject him. They might not like him, and women have to understand, just because you like this person doesn't mean your children will like them. They'll tolerate them and they might not say anything about it. But at the end of the day, they don't really like him. When my mom finally got married, I was 16. I had met the guy at 15. I was damn near grown. I was in LA. I was on an advanced track. It was just some other dude. So he was cool. We didn't really have a father-son relationship. We were just cool, And so, I didn't, but I only was there 2 years and then I was gone. I was a grown man. I was out. I left. I went off to college. They had 3 new kids. At this point, it's been 25 years. They just got divorced. But, so here we go again about that. I'm getting text message and stuff from my office. So forgive me if I have to break up a minute. But, and so that's from the perspective of the children. So the man is looking at it like, okay, these aren't my kids. I don't have those feelings for those kids. Logically, it makes no sense for me to break myself to take care of some other man's child, even though I love this woman. And so it's just not a good idea practically and financially. And then on top of that, if you're living in a house with some other children and you have children and your children are getting treated one way and their children are getting treated another, whether it's good or bad, that's going to create animosity amongst the kids. And here's another thing. Am I going to be, I don't like disciplining other people's children. You see, I have a way in which I operate with my sons. We have a relationship. We have an agreement. We have a compact. If they don't do this, that, and the other, then we don't have a problem. Other people don't really have that understanding. The minute I get on my phone, I get 100 text messages, but other people don't really have that understanding with their children. I raise my sons in a certain way to be disciplined, hardworking, honest young men. And it makes my life a lot easier. If I brought another child into this household and his mother, would I be able to discipline that? Where is that? First of all, where is that child mentally? Like, is that child going to be susceptible to discipline? Because unless you get the kids early and you really instill the fear of God in them before they turn 4 or 5 years old, you're going to have problems with those children from that point forward. You literally got to break them down just to get them to cooperate. And then they're not doing it because that's the way they were raised and brought up. They're doing it because they're afraid. So, I believe in getting a child right from the beginning so they can grow up straight and strong. I don't believe in trying to correct their behavior and then they're always subject to rebel, because that's not something they're used to. And then there's resentment against you. In other words, I got this kid in my house. I can't discipline him. Okay, he's making my house, or she's making my house a living hell. I got these other kids who are looking at that and they're like, man, like, why does he get away with all that? What's up with that? And then if I have a woman who's in the way of that, it's like, it makes it even worse. And here's the other thing. I don't want to discipline your child. I just don't. I don't like disciplining my own children in a certain way. That's why I go heavy on the top end and I get them correct from the beginning. And so then when they get older, 12, 11, 13-year-old, it's not so much disciplining, it's so much guiding them. See, a lot of women, and this is what I noticed, you're very good at maintaining your children. You make sure they dress nice, look nice, they're well fed. Well, not all people, but I would like to say. But, that's might be over exaggerating. Some people are not even good at maintaining their children. But for the point of this circumstance, for the point of this conversation, maybe we'll say you're good at maintaining the children, but you're not good at actually raising them, guiding them, teaching them how to be decent human beings. And that's hard. It takes a lot of energy. It takes a lot of thought. I'm not willing to put all that into somebody else's children. And on top of that, it's too much trouble. And here's a financial aspect. This woman probably wouldn't be marrying me if she didn't expect me to contribute to her well-being and that well-being of that child. Like they say, it's a package deal. So if I'm sending my children to private school, I got to pay to send your child to private school. Is that what we got to do? And what am I doing with my money if not putting it towards my own children's best interest? So I'm spending $1,000, $2,000 for your kid to go to all these extracurricular activities like I'm spending mine. That's money that should be going to their college funds, or should be going to money that I would give them to put a down payment on their house when they get of age, or graduate school. You are literally forcing me to take away from my children's financial future to provide for your child. So not only are the emotions not there and the logic is not there, but you're also taking away the tangible benefits that I have been able to create in my lifetime that I'm supposed to give to my kids. Now, I'm not saying that you can't date single mothers. I'm just telling men who are thinking logically that it's just not a good idea, whether it is you have children as a father. At this point, I'm just not dating. You see what I'm saying? I got 3 sons. I'm raising them. Maybe after they get old enough and of age, maybe I'll consider dating again. Right now, I don't really date seriously. I'm definitely not interested in getting married. And that has a lot to do with the fact that the marriage laws in the United States are so, against the primary earner that it makes no sense for me to risk the chance of getting married and then, risk the chance, or getting married and risking the chance of divorce, and then having my income, my finances cut in half, and being forced to pay some person that I was married to all this money, which takes away from my children's future financial well-being. And it goes back to that. A lot of guys, you have a lot of things to say about, the kids are knocking on the door while you're trying to make love. I don't give a crap about that. I'm looking at it from tangible, logical reasoning. I cannot be the father to your child that your child's biological father should be. I cannot willingly finance, or logically, or feasibly is the word, finance your children's well-being and lifestyle like I do my own, period. I can't do it. I cannot do it. I've tried to date, because see, here's what's going to happen. The minute a woman starts saying something like, my son needs this, my son needs that, I'm like, well, where's his baby? Where's your father at? And when she starts saying I'm cheap, or I don't want to do this, I don't want to do that, I'm going to say, no, your baby daddy is cheap. And then we got a problem in the relationship. Because it's true. Your baby daddy, the one that left you, no, he's the one that's cheap. And now I'm the enemy now, right? Because I've basically told her the truth. I burst that bubble that I love you and my wallet and my heart are attached at the hip. It's not like that with me. I'm thinking very practical. Or the minute I say, look, your child is out of line, you need to discipline this child, I'm not going to do it. Or if I have to do it, then I'm being too harsh. And here's another thing. Kids lie. These kids could come in there, like let's say you got some kid coming there, he's telling his mama that you did something to him. Or he's telling his baby, his father, or his grandmother, whoever, that you beat him too hard or you treat him unfairly. And now you got to have a silly ass conversation with some other adults about what goes on in your house, about the house where you pay the bills. I'm not going for it. I don't need that. And here's another thing. Anytime you have somebody else's child in the house and you have somebody else's baby mama that's your woman, you got loose lips. She can't all the way be dedicated to you. Because no matter what, she still have to have conversations with her child's father. That child is still going to have conversations with his father. So you basically have binary intersection for the flow of information as to what goes on in and out of your house. See, in my house, my sons understand this is family business in here. What we go, where we go, what we do, how much money daddy makes, what else? What businesses I'm undergoing. We have roundtable discussions sometimes, and I put a few pictures up, videos up on Facebook and internet where I take my sons to lunch and I explain to them, even though they're only 13 and 10, and the little one, he's 4, I explain to them what daddy's goals are, what my future ambitions are as far as finance, real estate. I talk to them about what I expect from them. That's family business. You see, I don't want that information to go to other places. Even things as like stock tips or how to run a business. I'm not here trying to share that information with somebody else's child. I'm not, I know, where my secret real estate is, where my stash of money is, right? That's not something that I want to have. I don't want somebody else who's not of my bloodline knowing where that is. And so, when you got a woman who's had a baby by another man or 2 babies, I don't know, maybe she got 2 or 3 different child's father, whatever. She's always going to have communication with them. And even if it's just one conversation out of 1,000 where she gives away information that you don't like, that's still loose lips sink ships, man. You see what I'm saying? So basically what I'm saying, she can never be 100% all the way dedicated, loyal to, the oath of silence that you may have in your house. We don't talk about it. I talk about a lot of stuff on the internet, but some areas I don't even touch because it's family business. And that's how family goes. What TV shows I might be planning, what businesses, where I got real estate, where my stock accounts are, what properties I have, what businesses I have overseas. Y'all don't know that. But if I had a woman in my house who had another man in her life that she was tied to biologically for this child, that man might end up knowing all my business like that. And that's just not good. There's an oath that you have to take as a married couple. There's an oath that you have to take as a serious couple. You don't share your business outside the house, period. No matter how mad you get. And any woman that can't swear by that oath doesn't need to be, she's a loudmouth. She's for the streets, okay? If she got a blabbermouth and talk, she don't know how to stay home and keep it quiet and hold her temper and not share our family business, then she's for the streets. You need to get rid of her. And so why would I bring a woman in that basically has an open hole, an open line that she can always run off and blabber mouth to some man and his family, by the way, because she still might have a good relationship with his grandmother or his mom, the baby daddy's mom or sister or whoever. Of course she does. Those are his aunties. They all get together at these baby showers and birthdays and stuff. She's still going to have to go to all that, no matter what she says. That's what women do. They communicate, and I can't have that. I need her friends to be my relatives. I need her friends to be, her family to be my family. I need my family to be her family. I need to know all these people. I need to know who we can talk to, who we can't, who I can bring into my business, and who I can't. That's the type of family I'm looking for. You can't get that close-knit if you got loose children running around here all up in your house like that, man. Not and build an empire. You could build a sinking ship with that. And I'm not talking, I've said nothing about sex, emotion. I ain't talking, I don't care about that. I'm not concerned about some kid knocking on the door while I'm trying to, get mine in at 2:00 in the morning. I don't care about that. That's not what I'm interested in. I'm interested in making money. I'm interested in power. I'm interested in influence. This is the perspective that I'm coming from. And when you have someone who's a child mother, unless she's bringing a whole lot to a table, like you're marrying somebody who is, my God, who's, worth $100 million because of divorce, or her husband's a widow, or she comes from this great family or something like that, then maybe financially it's worth it. You can overlook those other things because most likely you're going to have a maid anyway, so it won't matter. You ain't really raising the kid anyway. You on one side of the house. You just have a different kind of relationship, but at least it's understood that you're definitely not carrying that child financially, and both parties are bringing something to the relationship. But for the most part, man, if you got some woman and she making less than $300,000-$400,000 a year, and she got a kid, it's like, it's not worth it. I don't care who it is, it's just not worth it. It has to be in an abundance of financial resource. I'm talking about millions of dollars, for it to be worth it financially for somebody like me because I can see I can look at the bigger picture. My children will benefit. I'm definitely not going to be paying for this other kid. There's some financial benefit, and at the end of the day, it's going to help me and my family and my children. You're still going to have that loose lip thing. She's going to have access to calls or reason to talk to some other people from some other families, but I can kind of see around that because the money is worth it. So this may be a different take than a lot of people take, but this is where I'm coming from. This is where I'm coming from, not just from a legacy standpoint and from a business standpoint and from a practical standpoint. It just doesn't make sense for an up-and-coming young man or established man to deal with a woman who has children by other men. It just doesn't, unless she's very wealthy, period. And this cuts across the board. I'm not just talking about any one race of women. I'm talking about all women. I've dated women from different races with children, and I'm telling you, it's the same issue. As a matter of fact, dating women from other races with children, then you got the cultural conflict. When your girl is white and her child is white and the baby daddy is white, that's some cultural issues right there, and a little sprinkle of racism going on in there. You know what I'm saying? Latinas, even if you dating a woman and she's Latina, her ex is Latino, or maybe he's black or whatever, you got issues with that too, man. You got cultural issues. So it just, dating black women with other, you might got a dude and she liked thugs when she was young, and then she got a thug baby. And now you might be boxing this dude in your front yard at some point. You see what I mean? So it's best just to be clean with it. Get your new woman with no children, without all that baggage, if you can. That's my suggestion to you, fellas. All right? So this is all I have to say about that, man. I look forward to the comments. There's a lot more I could talk about, but, I think you guys get where I'm coming from. With me, it's not an emotional decision. It's definitely logical and feasible. And some of you might be saying, how you got 3 kids, so you going to date a woman with no kids? Yeah. Pretty much. Now, I know it's hypocritical, but that's how the game goes, man, because I'm expected to pay all the bills. I'm the owner. I'm the provider. I'm the financier. So I write the rules. And I know that's harsh, and some of you don't like that, but I'm not, I said, and see, now I'm about to go off into another tangent. When you control the board, when you control the infrastructure, you set the rules. You make the money, you got the house, you got the houses, you got the business, you make all the rules. And I'm not really willing to date a woman who has children. I'm definitely not willing to marry a woman who has children, unless she's bringing something very tangible to the table, i.e. money or some asset that I could not otherwise get. Well, maybe she has some family with some land or something like that, or they own banks, Maybe something as simple as, I can marry her and I can get my papers to live in another country, which will allow me to be a citizen of that country, and then I can buy land cheap. I can use my American money to buy, 20,000 acres of land in Colombia. Maybe so. I have to weigh that out. But my whole point to you all is, I know it sounds hypocritical because I'm a man who's been married, who has 2 different women with children, and 3 children altogether. But I'm not willing to date a woman who has kids. It's because I still got to pay for that kid. And I still got to deal with the fact that you got another man who you might be telling information to. And if not him, then his family members. And that's not how I operate. I keep things very secure as far as what information goes out and what information doesn't go out. It's a business that you run. Your marriage is a business. Your household is a business. You got to run it like a business. You don't want to have loose lips around there. But you're going to have a problem. And that's pretty much as honest as I can be. But, like they say, you pay the cost to be the boss. If you're willing to do that and you're willing to run the house, fine. I know a lot of ladies don't like me saying that, but it is what it is, And I don't mean to offend you. I'm just telling you, looking at it from a man's perspective who's really thought about this, it doesn't make financial sense. It's not logical. Uh, I've told you all the different reasons. I can't love your kid like you want me to. I can't love him like his dad. My best advice to you ladies is this: go back to your baby daddy if he'll have you. And for those of you saying, oh, he cheated on me, well, the truth is you probably cheated on him too. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure you cheated on him. For those of you who say, oh, he was abusive, the truth is you probably abusive to him too. Probably both physically and emotionally. So you can't lie to me. I already know. I know. Okay? So any excuse, you don't want to go back to him just because you don't want to go back to him. But he's the person who can best help you take care of your child. Because, I don't want to. And there are plenty of guys out there. And look, ladies, I'm just talking for men that feel the way I feel. But as far and specifically in the black community, there are so many guys with low standards. Black men are notoriously known for having extremely low standards. I just happen to be one who has high standards. And so you're going to be able to find somebody who'll take you and your child or children. You'll find that guy. I'm just saying, somebody like myself, I'm looking at it logically and I can't do it. And there are other guys, maybe we're in the minority, but there are other guys, men, black men, Hispanic men. We just can't do it. It makes no sense, So, and I'm not saying I won't change or I won't evolve. I'm just saying, as I look at it right now, it makes no sense, ladies. And I don't mean to hurt your feelings. I'm just being honest with you. I'm speaking to you like your father would speak to you. I'm speaking to you like your brother would speak to you, your uncle, or somebody who actually loves you and cares about you. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm telling you how I feel. Will I have a relationship with a woman with a child? Of course I will. But will I take it seriously? I don't know. What do you mean by serious? Getting married? No, probably not. Will I give you some money every now and then to buy some gifts for your kid? Will I pay your rent? Yeah, sure. But I know that I always have one foot out the door, honestly speaking. I'm just there for however long it lasts. I'm not going to commit fully. And then I'm going to go back to my life, because unfortunately, when you have a child by another man, you kind of, the package deal is not something that I feel is worth it. I can get better rates somewhere else. You understand? And I know that's harsh to say, but why would I marry this woman who's a 29-year-old with 2 kids when I can marry this woman who's a 29-year-old with no children? This makes better sense, or 24, whatever your age limit is. I don't know. But I love you all. God bless you. I don't mean to hurt your feelings, but I want to be truthful and I want to be honest with you, because people who love you will tell you the truth. People who lie to you and make you and tell you things that you want to hear, they don't really care about you. They just want to use you. And I'm not trying to use you. I want to be honest with you. And this is my calling. So God bless you all. I love you. This is Uncle D. I hope you have a blessed day. Ladies, don't be hurt. Don't be offended. Again, there are plenty of guys out there that'll take you and date you if you have children. I just don't think that, it's fair to people like me who've established themselves, who've made money, who've sacrificed, who have their own children to raise, who have empires that they want to build, that they're building. I don't think it's fair to somebody like me.